It looks like Holly Willoughby's husband Dan Baldwin, producer of tawdry game show Celebrity Juice, has been screaming down the blower to comedian Leigh Francis, because his alter ego Keith Lemon has been to the newspapers to try and distance himself from Dan's This Morning presenter wife, who was filmed parading around on the show engaging in an array of embarrassing scenarios. "We can't say we're surprised, we saw it coming." Yes, Holly Willoughby, who fell down the stairs on her last ever appearance on Celebrity Juice, is probably quaking in her Louboutins right now, fearing yet another scandal that will mar the image of perfection she's honed in an attempt to pull the wool over our eyes. There will be tears, tantrums and Aperol spritzes tonight, that's for sure. Leigh Francis, though, has insisted, we can guess on whose orders, that he has not seen Holly Willoughby since his birthday party in April. A likely story, in our opinion. The pair, who formed an odd friendship during Holly's 12-year stint on ITV2's Celebrity Juice, have according to him not met up in the last 5 months in what has been a turbulent time for the This Morning star. Could there be a scandal brewing? Possibly. A BBC Panorama investigation is due to be aired on Monday, and Leigh Francis is one of the names being bandied about. The contents of the program appear to be a mystery, perhaps even to Francis himself, which is probably why he's desperately distancing himself from Holly. Well, we'll say this for him, at least he's trying to protect her and not throwing her under the bus. That's what besties are supposed to do. In an interview with Mail Online, Leigh said he reached out to both Holly and Phillip Schofield when the This Morning drama unfolded following his 50th birthday party, which was held at a private members club in London. Holly arrived at the bash dressed as Barbie and another of Leigh's best pals. Phillip Schofield was in attendance, masquerading as anchorman Ron Burgundy. Ex-Celebrity Juice star Fern, Spice Girl Emma Bunton and Girls Aloud singer Kimberly Walsh were also at the star-studded event, which took place just a couple of months before the Phillip Schofield scandal broke. Leigh said, "The last time I saw Holly was on my birthday. I haven't seen her since all the telly drama. April was the last time I saw her in real life. Throughout all the telly drama, I just text people and go, 'Are you okay?' Where have we heard that one before? You can tell they're in each other's pockets." Leigh continues, "I reached out to everyone." He also spoke about why he thought his friend Holly Willoughby decided to stay on in the wake of the backlash, joking, "They pay well, don't they?" before adding, "I'm guessing she still enjoys it, so I think you should leave a show when you don't enjoy it anymore." Leigh also gave an insight into his friendship with Fern, who was team captain on his show Celebrity Juice from 2008 to 2018. He said, "We talk about clothes mostly, but now and again she'll just text me and say, 'How's it going?' She's very busy with her Happy Place festival, which I've never been to." Interestingly, Blinkerhole found an article from 2016, in which Fern said Leigh Francis is weird and is actually turning into Keith Lemon. She said she's having difficulty working out where Leigh Francis's personality ends and his alter ego Keith Lemon begins. And she said she's had at least one incident where she couldn't work out whether she was talking to either personality. In a revealing interview, Fern says she sometimes gets perplexed over comedian Leigh Francis, who rarely comes out of character. Talking about her relationship with the outrageous bleached-haired, ginger-mustachioed, failed businessman Lemon, she told Tim Lovejoy and Simon Rimmer on Sunday Brunch that he pushes boundaries. Explaining that he was scared to have Keith Lemon on his Channel 4 show, Tim said, "He just scares me because he stays in character. And I can't get my head around it." To which Fern responded, "He does, and actually the margins are now blurring from real Leigh Francis to Keith Lemon. And I am like, are you in character? Or are you just being you, but being a bit weird?" And while Fern says she has an unusual relationship with him, she still has a lot of professional respect. She added, "He is the loveliest guy. He's a genius, he just won a BAFTA. He is a genius, a complete genius." Tim then inquired more about her friendship with her colleague. He asked, "Is it like having two friends though?" And she responded, "There is a difference when you are sat with Leigh. He's a dad, he's got kids, and then when he is Keith, when he can get away with anything, he is just pushing the boundaries and ridiculous." The old article also stated that in 2015 Keith Lemon vowed to retire age 50, the age Leigh is now. However, it is unclear how old he actually is. He said, "I said to my girlfriend, who's French. Her name's Nicole, which is French for Nicola. I said, when I'm 50 I'm just going to effing disappear and go on holiday for the rest of my life." I'm going to work right hard until I'm 50. I'll probably just go back to Leeds and get bleeped with my mates. How confusing. Is he talking about Keith or Leigh? Considering Leigh has a wife called Jill Carter, we assume Leigh was in character for the interview. It seems that Fern Cotton was right about him rarely being out of character. Only hours prior to his interview in which he distanced himself from Holly Willoughby, Leigh Francis bizarrely felt the need to break his silence on the allegations about fellow comedian Brand. Speaking to Mail Online at the Radiant Resilience private exhibition in Qantas Gallery, London, Leigh said he feels the situation is sad for Brand and the women involved. He explained, "I promised myself I wouldn't comment on it, it's just sad, isn't it? It's a saddening thing for everyone. It's sad for the ladies, it's sad for his family, and it's sad for him." Leigh went on to discuss being cancelled in the industry and claimed it's unlikely anyone would ever accuse him of anything because he has been in a long-term relationship with wife Jill Carter since he was aged 19. They married when he was 30. What an odd thing to say. Has he forgotten that his friend Phillip Schofield was married to Stephanie Lowe? Being married does not protect you from a scandal, as we have already established. Funnily enough, Leigh has been spotted out and about with his rarely photographed wife more often recently. We wonder why that could be. When asked if Leigh fears he could get cancelled for saying the wrong thing, he said, "Yes, it's easy to offend loads of people." His words come amid claims Leigh humiliated Melanie Sykes in front of a live audience while they filmed ITV's Through the Keyhole. Melanie said Leigh made explicit gags about her for 3 hours, including, "I bet your A smells of flowers." And when asked if he feared facing similar allegations to Russell, Leigh told Mail Online, "I've been married to the same lady since I was a little boy. I met my wife when I was 19, and I got married when I was 30 to the same lady, so there's no worry about me getting cancelled for that." What's that phrase? "He doth protest too much, methinks." He's no doubt still wincing from the headlines earlier this week, where Melanie Sykes proved to be a thorn in his side at the worst possible moment, when the media are gunning for lewd comedians. Leigh, it appears, fits the bill. Melanie also claimed that TV producers failed to act after she complained that comic Leigh made humiliating jokes about her to a live audience while they filmed ITV's Through the Keyhole. The radio and television presenter said the TV production company Talkback, founded by the comedy duo Mel Smith and Griff Rhys-Jones, ignored her when she complained. Holly Willoughby's husband, Dan Baldwin, incidentally is development executive at none other than Talkback. Speaking on Fashion PR Leigh Francis' podcast, "Frankly speaking," she said, "I went into the studio and I didn't think Keith was going to be like he was on the other show he does, Celebrity Juice, where it's all bleep and bleeps and talking about people's A's." But she added, "I sat there for a 3-hour record and he did all that stuff to me verbally to entertain the live audience, because it was never going to make the edit of the show, so he used me to entertain the audience." Comedian Katherine Ryan, who made several accusations about Brand, also labeled Francis an obvious creep at the 2019 TV Choice Awards. She told the audience that Lemon was proof for bleeps everywhere that an obvious creep is cute. It's way less threatening than a stealth one. Francis hosted Celebrity Juice for 25 seasons before it was axed last year. It drew complaints and was the subject of an investigation by Ofcom, which ruled that a trailer for the show breached guidelines in 2013 by featuring what the watchdog said was a S-toy. Talkback said looking after its TV guests was the top priority. And Craig David also slammed Leigh's former show Bo Selector, calling out the impressions performed by Francis. Bo Selector was first broadcast on Channel 4 in 2002 and ran for 3 series until 2009, spanning several spin-offs. The sketch show saw comedian Leigh perform as Avid Marian, a stalker who is obsessed with celebrities, and featured the comedian doing impressions of various stars using latex face masks. Now, the singer has blasted Leigh for the depictions, saying they had a hugely negative impact on him. Speaking to The Times, Craig said, "It felt like a vendetta, and when it got a following, it became something that affected me. People would shout at me on the street and I felt the same feeling I had when I was bullied at school." Leigh Francis had normalized bullying by making it comedy. To conclude, it looks to Blinkerhole like This Morning presenter, Holly Willoughby, and her producer husband, Dan Baldwin, have made their situation very clear to Leigh Francis. They want nothing to do with him, and are preparing to wash their hands of any culpability in Keith Lemon's words or actions. Is this another case of Holly throwing a bestie under the bus as we've suspected in our previous videos? It looks like it. If there's one thing for certain, if stories about Leigh Francis's alleged behavior continue, we are sure to see Holly Willoughby dropping him like a stone. That's if she hasn't already. Please like and subscribe for more journeys through the Blinkerhole. For entertainment purposes only. Keep up to date with our latest investigations and hit the join button. If you like what we do, send us a super thanks. Official Blinkerhole merchandise is available in store.